Hi, everyone. Welcome to our Sunday night Healthy Living Zoom. This is live every Sunday night at 6 Pacific, 8 Central. And after what you learned tonight, my goal is for you not only to get some education, but some inspiration to take some action and join us in our next 30 Days to Healthy Living group. Now, there's one that starts the first Monday of every month and the third Monday of every month, which is tomorrow. So perfect timing. And the neat thing is when you realize how important this is, you're going to want to invite other people. And so I hope that you're grateful to the person that they invited you tonight. You know, there's a Chinese proverb that says, when you find something of value, you have an obligation to share it with others. And that is the heart that we have in Arbonne and for this plan. Because we've seen so many lives radically transformed. And so we want to tell the world, and we're on a mission, and we'd love for you to be a part of it, to help you transform. And if you want to tell others, we'll support you in that as well. So a little bit about me. I live in Phoenix. I have 3 children. I married my brother's best friend. Grew up here. I'm a 3rd-generation native of Phoenix. I've been with Arbonne for 15 years now. And it wasn't until 3 years ago, you know, health was on my mind, but 3 years ago, I did this 30-day plan for the first time. And I'm going to talk a little bit about why this plan is so different than any other diet. We're going to talk about why we all need something like this. When I say all, I mean every single one of us. And I'm going to focus on what happens over 30 days and then share kind of my piece of the story, which was my sugar addiction. That was a major problem. You know, I craved sugar like a person that hasn't had water in a while craves water. You know what it's like to be thirsty. That's what it's like to have sugar. And so some of you may identify with what that's like. You know, you have a sweet tooth. You may crave sugar in the form of you've got to have your glass of wine. You may crave it in the form of desserts. You may crave it in the form of candy. I ate a lot of candy, a lot of Swedish Fish and Sour Patch Kids. And I know it sounds super funny, but really, I mean, we couldn't travel without me sneaking, you know, in a gas station and buying candy and hiding it for my kids because I knew it was bad for them. And so, the great thing about this 30-day plan is these unhealthy habits that actually are killing us, we get a chance for 30 days to practice living like we want to live the rest of our life 80% of the time. So the goal is to practice. And you know, they say it takes 21 days to create a habit, right? Well, we go 30 days. We go beyond that 21 days. And I've heard it said, show me your habits and I'll show you your future. See, I thought that quitting sugar meant that I had to white knuckle it the rest of my life. And when I say quitting sugar, I mean quitting sugar about 80% of the time. I'm probably 90% now. But what we do in this 30-day plan is we practice day in and day out these healthy habits that you want anyway. And by the end of the 30 days, what you'll realize, what I realized, is I didn't crave it the same. I wasn't thirsty for sugar like I was thirsty for water. And that is the biggest blessing, is your desires change. It's not that you just learn how to be more disciplined. You literally don't want the things that aren't good for you as often. I mean, I still have a bite of this and a bite of that here and there. But when you're educated, and we'll talk about that part of the plan, is you're going to be practicing some things, but along the way, you'll be educated in a private Facebook group. You guys, knowledge is power, right? I mean, even the Bible says that we'll be transformed by the renewing of our mind. And over 30 days, we learn to think differently. And when we think differently, we act differently. And what happens when we act differently? Everything changes radically. So knowledge is power. When I finally decided, I always knew sugar wasn't good. But when I finally said to myself, okay, something's got to be done, I ordered this book called Suicide by Sugar: Why Our Sweet Tooth May Be Killing Us. And it's a startling look at our #1 national addiction. And food is like a drug. I have learned what a drug sugar is. And when I say sugar, there's probably 30 different things that can, account for sugar, different additives and substitutes. But I just want to read a quick part of this book. And if you're struggling, you guys, for, I don't know, $10, $14 in an hour or two, I'd say it's worth the time and the investment to take a look at this, because I could get like emotional thinking about how, after reading this, we had like a party for the kids. My son was in 6th grade, and the moms decided to set up an ice cream buffet. And the bowls were huge, and the toppings, it was everything from gummy worms to whatever, hydrogenated oil, chocolates. And the kids would take 3 scoops of ice cream and just cover it, and everybody's smiling and laughing. And I'm thinking, we're killing these kids, you guys. And it's not that I won't have birthday cake or a bite of it, here and there. It's not that I'm just a total spoil sport, but we've got to take this seriously. So I just want to read this really quickly, and maybe you'll be inspired to order this book. And if not, do the plan. And it's going to help you with not only your sugar cravings, but the other things that we crave that don't serve us, the allergenic, acidic, the addictive foods. So we'll talk about those in just a second. So this chapter 2, 140 reasons why sugar is ruining your health. So the author, Nancy Appleton, says, for about 20 years, I've been collecting reasons why sugar is ruining your health. I found them in everything from the Harvard medical publication, Health Beat, to just perusing the web. They're difficult to find and many times more difficult to read because of medical jargon. I feel that the long-term use of added sugar can be a problem for many people and cause many diseases. Join me 20 years from now, and I'll probably have many reasons. So I'm just going to name some of them, and I'm going to go fast. Sugar suppresses the immune system. It upsets the mineral relationships in the body. It can cause juvenile delinquency in children. Eaten during pregnancy and lactation, it can influence muscle force production in the child, which affects an individual's ability to exercise. Sugar and soda, well, we'll talk about that in a minute. It can elevate glucose and insulin responses and return to fasting levels slower. You guys, it affects cholesterol. People think cholesterol is a fat issue. It's more of a sugar issue, raising the insulin, than anything. I have an incredible article, if anybody wants to see it, by a heart specialist here in Scottsdale that talks about sugar is what's causing heart disease. It damages cells and tissues. It can cause hyperactivity, anxiety, inability to concentrate, and crankiness in children. Produces a significant rise in triglycerides. Reduces the body's ability to defend against bacterial infection. Causes a decline in tissue elasticity and function. The more sugar you eat, the more elasticity and function you lose. We have a PhD nutritionist in Arbonne that's an executive national vice president, Barbara Beatty. For those of you that know Barbara, she's in her 60s. Her skin is flawless. She hasn't been eating sugar for probably 20 years. She looks incredible. So yes, sugar is one thing, that acidity in our body that breaks down elasticity. It can lead to chromium deficiency, can lead to ovarian cancer, causes copper deficiency, interferes with the body's absorption of calcium and magnesium. It makes eyes more vulnerable to age-related macular degeneration, can cause hypoglycemia, leads to an acidic digestive tract, causes premature aging, can lead to alcoholism, obviously tooth decay, can lead to obesity. Do you know, I read that if a child hits their max amount of calories for the day and has 1 extra soda a day for the year, they gain 15 pounds. 1 soda a day. Now that's just weight gain. Obviously that's not to mention all these other problems. Can cause varicose veins, gallstones, can cause heart disease, osteoporosis. It decreases the amount of growth hormones in the body, can affect growth. causes food allergies, contributes to diabetes, can cause toxemia during pregnancy, can lead to eczema in children. You know any children that have eczema? You know, I've heard to cut out dairy and maybe eggs and focus on the gut. You'll hear about our Digestion Plus in a minute. It can impair the structure of DNA. I mean, how damaging is that? Can change the structure of protein. Can cause the skin to wrinkle by changing the structure of collagen. Can cause cataracts, emphysema, arthritis, learning disorders in school children, gastric and duodenal ulcers. Can increase the risk of Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis. Okay, I've only hit less than 50. So there's 140 reasons, and they're not fun. All right, so you read all 140 things and then finish this book, and you start thinking a little differently about that, how attractive some of the things are in front of us, okay? So let's talk a little bit about the 30-day plan in general and why we need this, because there's so many things that we're putting in our mouth that really, you know, we're digging our graves with our forks. And again, I believe that most people know that they need to change some things, but they don't realize how simple it is and don't realize that literally your desires can change. So why do we need this plan? Well, most of you that are on this Zoom with me tonight are struggling with some of these issues, or you know people that are. When I talk to people one-on-one and really can get feedback, many of them say, I have all of them, but I want you to think about a few things. How many of you have low energy? Foggy thinking? How about joint pain? I'm almost 48, and in my 40s, I started getting joint pain, and I was like, am I getting arthritis like my grandma? And you know, one of my friends that's on my team, she did this plan, by the way, and she got her blood work done, and her doctor said, your blood work, your cholesterol is better than perfect. And she had talked to the doctor before she did this, and like me said, I think I'm getting arthritis like my grandma. And he said, well, you'll get it if you ate like her. And that was really interesting. I understand there can be unique situations where it can be genetic and things like that. But for the most part, eating an acidic and an inflammatory diet will increase that. But joint pain, depression, or just low mood, headaches, poor digestion, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, food allergies, skin problems, you know, excess weight, maybe some issues with some diseases. And so, you know, in the day and age where we have access to all sorts of incredible education and great food, this really shouldn't be happening. And what people tell me is their top issues are low energy, poor nutrition, cravings, bad eating habits, and excess weight. And the problem is we're just too strong in a way. And I say that is our standards are so low for what we expect on how to feel. If you think about it, what does low energy cost us? Right? You know, I mean, we can get used to just being like, oh, I'm tired, day in and day out. But think about it. For me, productivity, motivation, right? If I don't have energy, I'm not motivated. Confidence. I am not the same person. I don't know about you, but my confidence plummets when I don't feel well, when I don't have energy. What about, are any of you crabby to your family? Yes, you're right. Having no energy affects everything, you guys. And we say that time is the most important commodity, but energy is so important because we can have all the time in the world if we were gifted with that, but we can't use it to be our best if we don't have energy. And I believe that low energy steals our joy as well. And so you're worth it to discover how your body can have natural energy, because if you think about it, what do we do to get energy? To prop up that energy? Well, you know, the unhealthy energy drinks or coffee, which can be really acidic, even sugar. A lot of people eat when they're tired, and really they just need some water and they need some more rest at night. But sugar can disrupt sleep as well. So let's talk about why this plan works, okay? For 30 days, we're gonna just give our body a break. We're just gonna put a pause on all the junk that we're bringing in. And we're going to eliminate the allergenic, acidic, and addictive foods. So let's use the analogy of a bathtub. Let's pretend that faucet's on and the water's coming in, and that represents everything that's coming into our body. Much of it that is toxic, okay? You know, food is either fuel or poison. Either it's used to fuel our cells, or the alarm sound in our body and they say, Mayday, Mayday, I can't use this for fuel. What do I do with it? I've got to get rid of it. And so as that faucet comes on, the drain gets clogged. It's coming in faster than it can drain, right? And the drain represents our detoxifying organs. And so what happens? The water rises, it overflows. And I've heard a great analogy. What do? We use the mop of pharmaceutical medications for all of the problems we have with the spillover. So what we're going to do in 30 days is we're going to start by turning the water off. We're going to reduce the intake of toxins, and then we're going to unclog that drain. We're going to clean our organs. And this happens slowly where you don't even see it over the month. For instance, we have this incredible detox tea that comes with our plan. It's delicious. You get 40 tea bags. You can have 1 or 2 a day, hot or cold. And this gently cleans the kidneys and the liver. Our liver is our major detoxifying organ, and our kidneys filter 150 quarts of blood a day. Their whole job is to filter toxins, filter toxins, filter toxins. But do we ever clean our kidneys out? And think about it, if we didn't brush our teeth for a couple of weeks, we'd see the buildup. We'd go, gross, I need to clean my teeth. But we don't see in our kidneys, right? And so this is amazing, and it's like a natural diuretic. If you have problems retaining water, think about it. Your kidneys are cleaned out, and you're not going to retain water anymore. So that's one product that we use for cleansing throughout the month. Okay, so we're going to decrease the toxins. We're going to increase nutrient intake and absorption. You know, you've heard it said, we are what we eat. Really, we are what we absorb. And as we get older, we don't absorb a lot of nutrition. One, a lot of the things we're eating don't have much nutrition. But when you do decide to eat a healthy diet, you need help with absorption. And so we have our Digestion Plus, which is one of our most important products. This is one habit I've developed. Every single morning, I walk to the kitchen, I pour myself a glass of 6 ounces of water, I put my packet of Digestion Plus and a scoop of greens, and I drink it. Now you can add this to your shake, both of these, and the greens are one option that you can get in the 30-day package. We have another option of a cleanse, so talk to the person that invited you about which one that you want. But I would say, I love, Sherry Weller shared this the other day, this is about being healthy and happy. So the greens balance 37 phytonutrients from a rainbow of 37 different fruits and vegetables. It's just straight nutrition, like right in your veins, okay? And it helps with energy, and over a period of 30 days, just increasing that nutrition, right? And then the Digestion Plus, I think this is the most important product in our entire catalog. And if this is something that you implement over 30 days and then 60 days and 90 days and beyond, these 2 products, you're going to notice such a dramatic difference in your health. So we have digestive enzymes that help you break down carbs and fats and proteins and all of those great things that as we get older, we don't break down as well. So your cells actually can be fed. And then it has pre and probiotics. So most of you know that probiotics are important. But did you know that this good bacteria that feeds our gut, which is called the second brain, actually the health of our gut is about 80% of our immune system, and it's responsible for the production of our serotonin. Our gut literally sends a message to the brain to produce serotonin. That is our happy hormone. That helps with mood. That helps with focus and sleep, libido. So not only do we hear stories of people who have digestive issues or even acne or things like that, but it actually affects the brain. And even MDs are saying that the kids with ADD need to go on a good probiotic. Now, they're not all designed the same. A lot of them, it has to be like 500 quintillion CFUs, right? Because the stomach acid kills it. This is a spore form. It's a powder. it does not come alive until it hits the right pH level, about in your small intestine, right where it needs to be. And so it doesn't have to be refrigerated. And the key is it comes with prebiotics, which is the food for those probiotics to live. Okay? So we're also going to balance the blood sugar and balance the pH all along the process. A couple other things that happens during a typical day is you will have at least one protein shake a day. We recommend one shake a day, 1 to 2. And typically people have it for breakfast. Now this protein, when you make it in a shake full of some extra nutrients, can be one of the healthiest meals you can eat. And I love making shakes for my kids as well. So this is a vegan protein. So there's no whey, dairy, soy. All of our products have no artificial colors, sweeteners, flavors. You know, the health food store is full of products that have artificial sweeteners, that are neurotoxins, that are killing the gut. And so I had a personal trainer tell me that he's never tried a shake that's so clean that tastes so good. And he's like, I've tried about 50 shakes. It's delicious. You can get it in chocolate and vanilla. And the plan comes with 60 servings of shakes. So this is part of your grocery budget. These are meals or snacks that you would be buying anyway throughout the month. And so you'll learn how to make a really yummy, great shake. So this typically is in the morning. It's very simple. You don't even have to think about it. We have an amazing fiber powder. I recommend waiting up to a week before you add it, because our shakes now have fiber in them. But the fiber is the cholesterol lowering, heart healthy fiber, and it's a sponge for toxins. Alrighty, so my pal during the 30 days, and I think this will be your best friend too, is the Fizz Sticks. This has an ingredient in it that helps with sugar and carb cravings. So the things that we're asking you to set aside for a month and to avoid, we have replacement suggestions. We have a clean eating guide that's going to show you, hey, you're getting rid of this for the month, replace it with this. And most people find that, wow, this is really simple. I'm really not missing it. And that's probably the top thing that people tell me is, I thought this would be harder than it was. But with the 30-day package, you also get 60 Fizz Sticks. You can choose from citrus or pomegranate. I recommend one of each. You can mix the two for a third flavor. But these are B6 and B12 vitamins for energy, green tea that's very alkalizing. It has a little bit of guarana for energy too. That's a natural caffeine source, tiny, tiny bit. Focus, it has ginseng for focus. So this is like a calm, focused energy with no crash like coffee typically does. And you can have a couple of these a day. You also can add them to your tea, cold, ice cold tea, or hot tea. We call it a tizzy for the fizz and the tea together. The last thing I'll just share with you is our body cleanse. And again, you can choose between this and the greens. And this is just 7 packets, super mild, very gentle cleanse. It's safe enough to take every day. So talk to the person who invited you about how they do it. Some people do it every weekend. Some people do one every 4 days. You know, it's really up to you. You add it to 32 ounces of water. So lastly, before I close, I'm running just a minute behind. Hang with me really quickly. I had said at the beginning that knowledge is power. And when we first came out with this plan, we handed people a guide, we gave them their products, and we said, you know, here you go. You know, I'm cheering you on for success, right? And we keep in touch with them. But what we realized is a really important part of success is accountability and camaraderie and motivation and inspiration. And so that's why when you get your package, you are added to a Facebook group with other people who are like-minded, who are goal-oriented as well. They have the same, goals that you have. And together, you're cheering each other on, and you're going to be getting information every day that, just like what I read to you about sugar, that educates you on the why behind the simple changes that we're making over time. And so I really encourage you, if you have any other questions, to reach out to the person who asked you. And I want to tell you, This is such great timing. Typically, our plan is, the value is unbelievable. I don't know if you've ever been to a naturopath. I can't get out of my naturopath's office for less than $500, and it sure doesn't include meals. And it doesn't include, the education every day and things like that. So our 30 Days to Healthy Living pack, again, includes 60 protein shakes, 30 servings of fiber, 30 servings of Digestion Plus. You can choose 30 servings of Greens Balance or the Body Cleanse. You get 60 fizz sticks and 40 detox teas. All right. And this month, it's only $266. It's a $444 value. There's no preferred client registration fee. So if you have not gotten a preferred client account with Arbonne, that $29 has been waived. And this includes an account with Arbonne for a year where you have access to all of the products that we offer for 20 to 40% off. This also includes shipping. So when I say $266, it's $266 plus tax. That's it. And again, it's part of your grocery budget. You're going to get your meals, your snacks, and everything else. I just want to tell you, if something's tapping you on the shoulder saying, okay, it's time, I need to do this, just jump in. 30 days is going to fly. Today's what? The 7th of April? Was March 7th like yesterday? I'm telling you, there's going to be a group of people that in 30 days are going to be finishing up, and you'll realize, oh my gosh, I probably should have jumped into that. And you have an opportunity to change your life and somebody else's, because guess what? Grab a buddy, have them do this with you. It's so fun, and they can get a great value as well. So trying to think if I left anything out. Oh, I want to talk for like another hour because it's so awesome. You just have to do it. You have to. You don't have to, but you have to. Okay. All right. Well, I hope that we can partner with you, and we're excited to hear the results that you have in 30 short days. And then you'll learn after 30 days that you've developed some great habits that you want to hang on to. And again, the goal is to stick with it about 80% of the time. You'll enjoy the 80% and you'll enjoy the 20% that you're not sticking to it. And you're going to continue to get healthier and healthier. Thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate your attention, and make it a phenomenal week and a great rest of the month. Thank you, everyone.